This is a new model that I've come up with. I'm actually not going to sort of give it a name or anything because I'm sort of a bit sick of all the names of models of boards that you see these days. It's a surfboard, so I'll call it that. But what it's doing, back in '67, Midget Farrelly, who I have a lot of respect for, came up with this new bottom shape. It was called a V bottom, and some people write it down as other people having started, but it was actually Midget that came up with the first one, and he rode it at a contest at Palm Beach against Wind and Sea versus Australia, and a particular photographer got a great shot of it, David Graham, and it shows from this angle from the tail showing the V through it. Now the one in the photo of Midget has a bit more V than this. I've toned it down a bit, but it's certainly inspired me with this board. This one's only 7'4". It is a stringerless because at that period, this is just at the end of the 65 to 67 stringerless period, so I thought, no, I'd like to keep that characteristic of it, and it keeps the weight down as well. This is like a board which a longboarder, traditionalist longboarder would ride, and to really, when it started changing into the sharp cutbacks and so forth, and surfing in the pocket more, which you couldn't do to a point some of the turns on a 9-foot board. Now, as you can see as well, the fin, it's got the 11-inch what we call a flex fin, so same style as what, or not exactly what Midget did, but similar on the same lines. As I say, it's just a inspired design off that one. And you can see as well the fins just put a little bit more forward than you would on a normal 9-footer. Now, it has a roll all the way through the nose, not heavy, okay, everything's toned down just a little bit. Comes to just behind the middle of the board, and then the V starts. It's got two real planing surfaces here, okay. Now, some of the original ones had really heavy Vs, up to 1.5 to 2 inches, some of them, and I think maybe they made them track a little bit, where you lean the board and it still goes straight, where this is just toned down just a little bit, so I think once you get this on the rail, it will turn and get lots and lots of speed. Again, this is putting a lot of design factors from what I've learned over the last 30 years into a board to really make it user-friendly for the average beginner surfer right up to a really accomplished surfer. So I don't want it to be an exclusive board that only a few people can ride. Now, with the outline of this board, just for starters, it's 22.5 wide in the middle, a 17.5-inch nose, but it's got the 18-inch tail. As you can see, it's got that real teardroppy sort of look at the back half of the board. Now, it's only 7'4". I'll just stand it up to show you the outline from a quick look at it this way. As you can see with the profile, it's got that really nice wide area in the tail, and you know, it's sort of, and you can see before, it hasn't got a lot of curve. Okay, that's where I've toned it down a bit. I've kept the curve nice and continuous all the way through, so as it gets on the rail, even though it has a 50-50 rail, it should perform quite well. Now, the guy I made this board for is in the 80 kilogram sort of early 80s, so you know, if you weighed a bit more, if you're 100 kilos, obviously you could get it a touch longer, but wider and thicker, and if you're a bit lighter and you wanted it smaller. But it's all about you know, that transition from riding a big longboard down to what they started doing when they made the board shorter. Now, it's not meant to be, you know, high performance tail slides like they're doing now, and aerials and so forth. It's meant to, like when you've seen some of the videos of Midget, and even a bit later guys like Wayne Lynch, when they rode these wide tail single fins, how they're surfing, real smooth, but definitely a real cutback board, a board which they really cut back in the pocket and rebound off the foam and so forth. Now, it comes in a variety of options. You can get it basic, wet and dry, clear, one colour fin and everything, or you can go the full hog, getting tints and rainbow coloured fins, the whole lot. You can go for a fixed fin. The option really is yours because it is a custom board, but as I said, this is for a customer and this is what he wanted, so this is what he gets. But it's not going to be named anything, it's just going to be that board, and it's already got a bit of people talking about it when I put it on Facebook to show them. It seems to be something that I think there's a bit of a market there for this type of board, and easy to ride. You can see the V there. an easy to ride board, which is just for those days when you want to get a bit more radical but keep the surfing nice and smooth. That's that board.